Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube? This is STL0320 representing JVS. To my great excitement and pleasure, I was able to see Spider-Man Far From Home tonight. This one is directed again by John Watts, has the original cast for the most part, I think pretty much everybody, but as a new addition in Jake Gyllenhaal to the cast as Mysterio, and it's some, oh man, there's a lot of different surprises in store for this one that the trailers really don't allude to. It don't give you any kind of inclination that these things could or would happen. Certain things, you know, are kind of predictable, but I honestly had a ball with Far From Home. Like, to be very clear, I am a very much so Spider-Man fan, as you can tell. I pretty much own all of them. I've got the original trilogy, even have like the Amazing Spider-Man films, one of the best animated feature ones, which is the Spectacular Spider-Man, of course, Homecoming. The only one I don't own is the Spider-Man, the animated series, which I have that on digital anyway. And then, of course, I bought the special edition Spider-Man PlayStation Pro, which one of the best Spider-Man games ever, even in addition to the Spider-Man 2, which I do own somewhere in there. So I just want to let you guys know that I am very much so a Spider-Man fan, but I'm going to try to give you guys a spoiler-free review as clear and concise as I possibly can. So let's start off first from the visual standpoint. Visually, there were moments aesthetically that the suit that Peter was wearing, like the first movie, I kind of like the whole entire time I was like, man, this looks CG. Like, I hate that this looks legit CG that whole entire time in Homecoming. This one, every single time, even the metal suit, you know what I'm saying, from Infinity War and from Endgame, like, it looks real. It looks like legit, like metal. The tactical suits you've seen in some of the trailers, like, it looks real. And part of that is there are some practical applications to some of these suits. Like, some of these suits are actually real, and the merge and the blend between the two is perfect VFX translation. Now, the other thing that I didn't see coming is the cinematography. They go all around the world. Like, I mean, from Venice to Germany to everywhere. And the scope of this is actually really grandiose, and I think that the action scenes in this one have some of the best Spider-Man action moments ever, to be quite honest with you. Like, especially some moments in the second and the third act that I was just like, yo, what? Like, I loved a lot of these action moments, and even like the way that they utilize the character of Mysterio, and just the way that he kind of moves and the way he actually uses like his ability and stuff like that. I think it was very well executed, very well dynamic, and I think that Jake Gyllenhaal completely commits to the immersion of his role, and that's where we're going to go into the acting. I think Jake Gyllenhaal does a serviceable, well nuanced, motivational arc in this one, because there is a direct connection to Peter. There is a direct connection to, you know, what he's trying to be, what he's trying to do. And in the same exact token, the opposite of that, Tom Holland's performance as Spider-Man, because Spider-Man very much so in this one is kind of a fish out of water again, but in a different way, where it's like everybody's looking to him, instead of him being the little guy, they're looking at him like, you have to be the big guy, because there's nobody else around. And, you know, of course, Samuel Jackson plays his role to a T. Like, I love Nick Fury in this one. The Maria Hill character is back in this one. But they are catalysts to putting a lot of pressure on Tom Holland's Spider-Man. And I think that Tom Holland does a really good job of allowing subtleties to show the different dissections of his character. I think that they could have played up a little bit more of certain things that emotionally I feel like, you know, you would kind of gravitate towards just coming off of Endgame. But I think that they wanted to focus on his story for this film, not go back, not go all over the place. But I think that by the end of the movie, you're going to see that, you know, it was all for a specific reason on certain levels. But I do think that they could have upped the emotional level, and some of the acting things that they do in this one, specifically with Tom Holland and Jake Gyllenhaal, just how well they have great chemistry. I was like, y'all could have turned this up to 10 and it would have been so much more layered. But I think it's fine for what this needed to be. Then let's talk about the other characters. I think Zendaya's character in this one, It's basically the same as the first one, but I think she's given a lot more to do. And I do love the way her character ends. I guess certain things, man, I can't really say. But I will say that I love the way that they kind of round out certain things with her character. Let's just say that. Ned is back in this one. Your boy Jacob is back as Ned, and he's just as funny and snarky as ever. I think the difference in this one is that Ned is very precise and honest. He's a real one, but at the same time, he's very honest, and he's not gonna put like what he thinks he needs above the safety of everybody else. And I think that there's a lot of growth with Ned. Not just that, there's another element here with some emotional things that kind of happen on a romantic level with not just Peter but other people as well. And I think that there's one character that, to me, and you'll know it when you see it, I think they fall in line of a third wheel that's unnecessary to the story overarching. Like, I think it was just an unnecessary ad. Like, I don't think the character is needed. I don't think the character should have been there. And it's just like, it kind of takes away from certain moments that could have been really good key emotional moments and key services of dialogue when you have the calibers of Zendaya and Tom Holland. Like, Zendaya right now is on this show called Euphoria, and she is nailing it. So I'm saying that they could have really done a lot more with that. Not just that, I didn't even realize she was in the OA. I thought that was crazy. Your boy Jon Favreau is back, is happy, and of course, like I said, Samuel Jackson is doing his thing. And even Marcy Tomei as May Parker, they give her a little bit more emotional traction when it comes to Peter. But I think that they could have, even with her, they could have taken it to a whole nother level as well. I think they tried to play it very safe on the emotional beats when it could have actually gone so much deeper. But now let's go into the story. I think the story is actually pretty good. I mean, I think that it plays like a classic Spider-Man story. And as a fan, personally, I dug it. I loved it. I really... like, it's cheesy at certain moments where it was emotionally. It's certain moments where I think they could have capitalized on, like, these emotional dope beats. They don't do it. I just really enjoyed the plot and the way that everything rounded up. Even moments where I feel like there was a lot of predictability with certain things and the outcomes of certain things, the execution of those things that were actually executed, it made up for it, and it made it more dynamic. It made it more filling. And there are two specific post-credit scenes that honestly changed the dynamic of the whole entire film, like both of them. But specifically the first one. So make sure you gotta stay to the end of at least the first credit sequence. But I mean, the second one, yeah. So yeah, all I can say is Kevin Feige said it. That's all I'm really gonna say. And I think that if I had to round this out, man, I'm resting this at like a 9 or a 9.5 out of 10. I think I'll rest it right now at a 9.2. But that to say, this movie might end up being in my top 3. Now, to say that, Spider-Man Into Spider-Verse is on its own level. So I'm not counting Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse, I don't know that they can even touch that unless they do a live action Spider-Verse, which they seem like they're planning, based on what Amy Pascal was talking about recently. But this one was so action-packed, has such amazing Spider-Man comic booky moments, and moments that were very serviceable and crowd-pleasing and entertaining, and at the same time funny. Some jokes land, some don't, but at the same time, I was never kind of taken out of it. From the beginning of the movie, the action and just the visual aesthetics already had me hooked. But then it was kind of just like, man, I was like, wow, I actually really enjoyed this a lot more than Homecoming personally. So I list this at a 9.2 right now. It might go up a little bit later on, but I think you definitely don't want to miss Far From Home. Highly recommend you go and check it out. Hope you guys please leave a like. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you leave a comment once you go and see this film. And hopefully I haven't triggered anybody, because the last time with the Godzilla thing, y'all had me in space. So that's all I'm gonna say. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. You have a blessed night, blessed evening, blessed day. Talk to you soon.